Hello, my dears, my dear Leo. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We are so thrilled you've chosen to join us for what is, maybe the busiest, most complicated transitional week of the entire year.
It really is a monumental week.
So today we are diving deep into the forecast for you, Leo and Ascendant Leo, for the week of December 22nd all the way through to the 28th, 2025.
And we just crossed that solstice threshold. So we've moved from that, deep winter energy into the really pragmatic, structured start of Capricorn season. For you, Leo, this isn't just a holiday forecast. This is the celestial blueprint for launching your 2026 success.
I love that. And that's our mission today, right?
Yeah.
We're laser focused. We are pulling out the most important insights from the sky energies to give you practical applications.
Exactly.
We want to understand how you, my beauties, our favorite sign of vitality, can use this intense push for structure without losing any of your magnificent shine.
That's the perfect way to frame it. The sun has just moved into Capricorn. And this energy shift, it moves the focus from, big philosophical ideas to concrete action, persistence.
So what does that mean for Leo?
It lights up your sixth house, which means your energy right now has to be spent on the practical side of life, like auditing your internal systems.
Okay, yes. And before we dive into that incredible planetary lineup you mentioned, just a quick but a very crucial reminder. Be sure to follow your rising sign, my dears. It is very important.
It really is. So let's talk about that lineup. We're calling it the 6-star service.
Oh, I love that.
It might feel a little less like 5-star luxury and a bit more like mandatory internal auditing. But trust us, the results are going to be magnificent. We're talking about a major planetary cluster in your 6th house.
Okay, let's unpack that. This house of structure. When we talk about the 6th house for Leo, what are the big themes you need to focus on this week?
The 6th house is all about your daily routines, your work environment, your health, diet, and the whole concept of service. It's where we process and refine what the raw material of our lives.
It's the daily grind, isn't it?
Yeah.
It sometimes gets overlooked because it's not the big drama of the 5th house or the career ambition of the 10th.
Exactly. But with this many planets piling in there, that grind is being electrified.
And who are the players? What makes it so dynamic?
Well, it really started with Mars, the planet of action and drive. That was the engine turning over back in mid-December.
Mars got the ball rolling, the doing.
And now, as the week begins on December 22nd, the sun joins Mars. It brings light, consciousness, and just sheer energy to all these practical matters.
Okay.
And then Venus, the planet of, resources, charm, diplomacy, she plays catch-up and joins the party on Wednesday, December 24th.
Just in time for the core holiday week. So we have the drive from Mars, the focus from the sun, and now the charm and resources from Venus.
Yeah.
All in the house of daily efficiency.
Yep. All of it.
So how long does this incredible momentum last? What's the shelf life on this?
This whole collective stays really tight and focused well through the middle of January 2026. So this concentration of energy, and Mercury joins them on January 1st, by the way, it's all designed to embolden your determination. You're not just, starting New Year's resolutions.
You actually have the cosmic firepower to stick to them.
You have the firepower to stick to them through that really tough post-holiday slump in January.
This is fascinating. Because Leo loves a grand gesture, right?
Yeah.
A dramatic announcement. But the 6th house is all about small, incremental changes. How does that work?
That is a brilliant point. The sources talk about virtue targeted in the right directions.
Okay.
So the Mars energy here isn't asking for a total life overhaul in one day. It's asking for the determination to implement small, high-leverage changes, but consistently.
So apply that big, dramatic, commanding Leo focus to the grocery list, not just the big company merger.
Exactly that. Apply it to the mundane. Let's talk about how this translates into work.
Yes, the professional sphere.
Okay, so the main theme here is alignment and fulfillment. Leos are going to feel this huge motivation to make changes if their job isn't satisfying, or, and this is important for Leo, if the pay or reward isn't reflecting their worth.
That Mars energy gives them the assertiveness to finally say, I am worth more, or I need to feel like I'm making a difference.
Precisely. It's a moment of necessary professional self-assertion. It's an opportunity to move toward work that genuinely satisfies you, maybe something that helps other people.
So that famous Leo generosity gets a practical outlet. I love that. And this has to be amazing for health and wellness too, right?
Oh, absolutely. That virtue-targeted idea is key here. The 6th house is all about our health habits.
So diet, exercise.
Diet, exercise, sleep, all of it. But what's really interesting is this increased consciousness about the subtle stuff,
What do you mean?
like chemicals, additives in food, packaging, even furnishings. Leo is being driven to audit their entire personal supply chain.
So it's not just eat a salad. It's a really sharp awareness of what your body is absorbing from everywhere.
Exactly. It's about optimizing the vessel so that inner lion can roar even louder in 2026.
I love that.
It's a deep clean,
Hmm.
a refinement process. And, stepping away from the intense self-work for a second, the sixth house also rules small animals.
Oh, a furry friend.
It's possible. Setting an intention for a new companion as we move into January is, well, it's very supported by these stars.
Okay, a deep dive into health, work, and maybe even a new regal sidekick. I love it. Now, my dears, while all this Capricorn energy is building that foundation, we have to talk about the friction, the specific tensions happening right now, this week.
That's the core tension, yes. There are two very specific influences that color this holiday period. First, let's just acknowledge the energy drain.
Oof, Leo and low vitality are never a fun mix, especially not now.
Right. So the sun, even as it enters Capricorn, is still in contact with Neptune's shimmering, watery vibe.
What do you mean?
It can act like an energetic fog. Your usual physical vitality might just not be as high as you expect it to be. You have to budget your energy.
It's like catching a cold right before the big party.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there are relationship tensions at the start of the week.
Yes. That Venus and Saturn contact is critical. Venus, as she enters that sixth house cluster, is in a very challenging aspect with Saturn early in the week.
That sounds heavy.
It can feel that way. Think
Yeah.
of it less like a breakup and more like a mandatory contract review in a romantic relationship.
A contract review. Very sixth house.
Isn't it? It forces you to look at the fine print of commitment, of values. Tensions might surface, and they'll demand, mature, realistic conversations.
This friction actually brings us to the crucial lesson of the week, doesn't it? Because Leos are so conscientious. They want to be the perfect host, the generous giver.
And they shoulder the whole burden.
They do.
And this huge amount of energy in the sixth house demands a fairer division of labor. This is the moment to use that Mars-Venus dynamic.
So how do you do that without starting a fight over who's cleaning the kitchen?
You use the Mars energy to assert yourself, to set a boundary and say, I need help with this. But you have to balance that with Venus's velvet glove. Use charm, use diplomacy so others don't get hostile. Assertiveness isn't about fighting. It's about creating balance.
In other words, if someone offers to dry the dishes, my loves, let them. You don't have to do it all.
That's the key. Let others contribute to your kingdom. It strengthens the bonds and it lightens your load, which protects that vulnerable energy we just talked about.
Beautifully put. Okay, let's pull back. Let's look at the bigger picture, the long-term healing context that's playing in the background this week.
This is the spiritual anchor for Leo right now. We have the Jupiter square Chiron aspect. It was exact just before this week, on Sunday the 21st, but it's a huge background influence.
Okay, so for our listeners, remind us. Chiron is the wounded healer, right?
Yeah.
It's about vulnerability. And Jupiter's all hope and expansion. But they're in a square. What does that mean?
A square means productive friction. The desire to expand, that's Jupiter, feels kind of blocked by old self-doubt or vulnerability, which is Chiron. It forces you to confront the wound before you can grow.
And how does this play out for Leo specifically?
Well, Chiron is in Aries right now, a fellow fire sign. For you, that's your ninth house, the worldly part of the sky. Higher learning, foreign travel, big ideas.
So the vulnerability pops up when they step out into the world.
Exactly. When engaging with new ideas or new places, it can feel risky to be publicly confident about a big vision.
That makes total sense for a Leo. To feel vulnerable in the public eye would be so tough. So where's the protection?
The protection is Jupiter. Jupiter is in your 12th house. That's your spiritual guides, your dreams, rest, your inner world. So profound healing and confidence. They don't come from pushing harder externally right now.
They come from resting.
They come from resting, meditating, and tapping into that quiet inner 12th house energy.
So the message is, the more you retreat and look inward, the more protected and confident you feel when you do have to go out into the world. The inner work is the shield.
That's it, precisely. You're leveraging the spiritual realm to support the physical realm. And this gets a boost very soon. On January 2nd, Chiron ends its long retrograde.
What does that shift unlock?
It often provides a vital, a download of understanding about your inner world, your psychological well-being. And by embracing that knowledge now, You enhance your physical vigor for when Chiron moves direct.
So let's put it all together. We have the super practical sixth house focus,
Mhm.
the diet, the work, the structure, and then we have this deep spiritual healing context.
That is the perfect synthesis. This week is a powerful blend. You're actively, practically building a sustainable structure for
A
2026.
new diet, a new work boundary.
A fairer division of chores, and at the same time, you are anchoring this deep, protected healing through quiet reflection. You're building a foundation that will let you shine so brightly in the new year.
My sugars, this week, don't just plan your future kingdom. Start polishing your crown with every small, intentional, confident choice you make. Now tell us, my loves, what small, practical goal are you committing to this week with that amazing Mars-Sun-Venus cluster? Are you setting those firm boundaries? Send us a quick heart or a comment below just to show us you were listening. We absolutely cherish your presence here with us. Time to move on to the next sign, but don't go far. We'll be right back with another deep dive.